Jumping rope is a highly effective and, in my opinion, underrated form of cardio. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to start jumping rope as a complete beginner, how to advance it, and how to incorporate it into your workout routine. First, I'm going to show you how to start jumping rope as a complete beginner if you're starting from scratch. Then I'm going to explain how to incorporate jumping rope into your workout routine, and then show you some advanced jumps so you can keep challenging yourself and making this more and more effective.
First of all, don't stand like this with your shoulders rounded forward. Okay, a lot of people stand like that, and the problem with that is it will wear away at your rotator cuff. So instead what you want to do is tuck those shoulders down and back a little bit, and tuck that chin in as well, closer to your neck. That's going to be proper posture to protect your shoulders. Next, what you want to do is not hold your elbows out like that. That's not ideal. Instead, hold your hands out so they're wider than your elbows and your shoulders. With your hands wide, you're going to twirl the jump rope by flicking the wrists. You flick it backwards and then up and forwards. I recommend starting off by not holding the jump rope and just practicing all the motions, hopping on your toes, and then twirling the imaginary jump rope or invisible jump rope while flicking your wrist back and then forward. Once you get a feel for what it should be like, then you can pick up the jump rope and start practicing. Start off by twirling the rope above and in front of you, but don't try to jump, just step over it after it stops against your legs. Keep repeating this, and this is going to help you get a feeling for how to flick that rope up and over your head. You don't have to practice this for long, just long enough that you can get the rope over your head consistently. Next, you want to add a jump, but only one jump. Notice that I didn't go for a second jump. See, this is a good introduction to jumping over the rope. All you got to do is concentrate on getting it under your feet once and then reset. Again, practice this until you can consistently get the rope over your head and jump over it without messing up. And once you have that single jump down, it's time to go for consecutive jumps. So you're going to do the same thing you were doing before, but now you're going to keep jumping and keep flicking the wrists to twirl the rope above and over you. Now there are 4 joints moving for this to happen, and the first one being my ankles, because my calves are applying force so I can push off from the balls of my feet. The second joint being the knees. I'm bending slightly at the knees as I push off with my quads and hamstrings and my thighs. And then, of course, the wrists are rotating to flick the rope above and over me, and also the shoulders are slightly applying force, especially in the rear deltoids, to help move that rope. As you practice jumping rope more and more, you're going to notice that you feel it in the upper body, specifically the rear deltoids and the forearms, almost as much as you feel it in the lower body.
So there's really like 2 ways that I like to include jump rope into my workout routine. The first way is if I'm doing circuits, like for instance, my beginner circuit that I know a lot of people are using. In the beginner circuit, you're doing circuits of 4 exercises, right? You got push, pull, squat, and hinge. You would just add a 5th exercise of jump rope to the circuit. So every round of the circuit is now 5 exercises. But the second way I like to incorporate jump rope into my workout routine is actually using separate cardio sessions. And these are pretty short sessions. It's not like people who get on a treadmill for 45 minutes or anything. This is a short 10 to 15 minute max cardio session. And the way I recommend doing that is take your phone, right? I have an Android phone here. So I go to the Google Play Store, but if you have Apple, it'd probably be the App Store, and look for an app called Tabata Timer. That's the app I use. It doesn't have to be Tabata Timer though. It can be any workout timer app. Then in the app, what I do is I set intervals of 45 seconds work and 15 seconds rest. And I might do, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 of those intervals. Now, if you're just starting out with jump rope, I recommend starting at about 5 intervals of 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. Do that about 5, maybe 6 times, and gradually increase it until you get to 10, 12, or 15 intervals. So basically, my cardio session is just 45 seconds of jumping rope, 15 seconds rest, 45 seconds jumping rope, 15 seconds rest, and I just keep repeating that. And what I like about that is that that interval is exactly 1 minute. So if I'm going to do 10 intervals, then my cardio session is only 10 minutes. So if you're wondering how often you should do this, well, as a beginner, I would recommend every day if you can, because it's lower intensity and you're basically just learning how to jump consistently and getting a feel for the movement. But when you start getting into advanced jumps, you really start pushing your cardiovascular limits and going into a state of Epoc, which I'll explain later in this video. I actually recommend keeping it to only 2 or 3 sessions per week, and you'll see why when I explain Epoc later. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, wait, 45 seconds of jumping rope with just the standard hop, isn't that going to get too easy? And yeah, eventually it's going to get too easy. That's why I'm about to show you more advanced jumping that you can use to keep it intense.
So the first advanced jump I like to do is called jump rope sprints. At least that's what I call it. What you do is you start off jumping rope like you normally would, but then you start alternating legs, kind of doing like a march in place. And as you practice this, you'll find that you can get faster and faster, and it comes pretty quickly actually. As you speed up, it's almost like a sprint. You're just going as fast as you can. It'll take some time and practice, but eventually you'll get to the point where you can do this pretty fast without messing up, meaning without the rope hitting your feet. And trust me, when the rope hits your feet when you're going this fast, it kind of hurts, so you'll learn fairly quickly. But doing 45 seconds of this, or even just 30 seconds, really taxes your cardio, trust me. Alright, crisscrosses. This is where things really start to suck in a good way. So with crisscrosses, you have to jump high. And what you're doing, I'll slow this down so you can see, I'm crossing my arms as the rope comes over my head and then uncrossing them the next time it comes over my head. So I cross, uncross, cross, uncross. And when you cross your arms, it'll create a loop that you jump through. So this one takes a lot of practice actually, because you'll trip up a lot on the rope. But with enough practice, you will get consistent with it. Just remember to jump high every time you jump. Once you build up to doing these crisscrosses for 45 seconds at a time, you are really going to feel it. Now there are tons of advanced jumps, but I'm going to show you one more that I really like. These are double jumps. With double jumps, what you're going to do is start off with normal jumps, but you're going to quickly start doing 2 twirls every jump. What I mean by that is the rope is going to hit the ground twice with every jump. So you're going to hit it once, twice, once, twice. See that? That is a double jump. Again, just like you did with the crisscrosses, make sure to jump nice and high with these. Tuck the knees up a bit. You need some air time in order to get that double jump to happen, for the rope to go under you twice. Also, this one hurts the most when the rope hits your feet, so don't wear sandals when you do this.
Trust me guys, when you start doing 45 seconds of crisscrosses or double jumps or jump rope sprints, you're going to see that this is really tough cardio. All right, I put it up there with burpees, like really intense burpees actually. And the reason why I recommend increasing the intensity of your cardio instead of making it longer, like doing 2-minute work and 30-second rest or something for your interval, is because when you do short, intense bursts of cardio, you start really, they call it going super maximal. You're going over your VO2 max, and that puts you in a state of EPOC, E-P-O-C. It's short for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. When you're in a state of EPOC, it basically means that during your workout, you were deprived of oxygen because the exercise was so intense. So your body increases its intake of oxygen naturally to make up for that deficit of oxygen. And this raises your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. This means that for upwards of 24 to 48 hours, even longer in some cases, you're going to be burning more calories at rest. And this is a great way to really accelerate fat loss. So if you've been looking to add cardio to your routine to try to accelerate fat loss, jump rope is an excellent option. Just remember, if you're a beginner, to start with the progressions I showed at the beginning of this video. Make sure you take it nice and slow. Use a workout timer, do 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off so that you have those intervals. And make sure that when you feel ready, you increase the intensity carefully, all right? Maybe start with 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and then go back to 45, 15. That might be a good way to introduce the more intense jumps that I showed later in the video. And I promise you will see, if you go into a state of EPOC from whether it's jump rope or any cardio, you will see accelerated fat loss. All right guys, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it showed you how to jump rope. and taught you how to implement it in your workouts. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, button is down below. Hit the bell so you get notified when I upload, and I will see you in the next video. Talk to you later.